What happens if you're trying to resolve the case, but you simply cannot agree on property division? My name is Akiva Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. If you can't agree, well, then it's probably a failure on the part of the representation. It may be a shortcoming because normally property division is something that the parties should be able to agree on. But I guess it depends on what the property is. If you're talking about this desk and you're talking about you can't agree on what to do with it, and somebody's going to keep it and somebody's going to work out the value of it and you can't agree, well, I think your lawyers need to sit you down and tell you the realities of how the court works. Because if you can't agree on stuff, the court will ultimately appoint an arbitrator and sell off your stuff. And you know what you'll get? Garage sale prices is what you'll get. So it's better to try and agree on something. But what if the property we're talking about isn't personal property? It's real property. It's a home. It's a golf course. It's a lake house in Saugatuck. It's something that has value that maybe is beyond the actual value that Zillow says because it has sentimental value. It's where you had all this fun with your kids. So it's valuable to you more so than anybody else. So I'm like, what do you do if you can't agree on that? Well, I'll tell you, ultimately, if you can't agree, that's what trials are for. And you can say, well, I'm going to trial because I won't agree. I know that Zillow says the property is worth $1 million, but to me, it's worth $2 million. So if you want it, you're going to have to pay me $1 million for my half. Well, you can take that position if you want, but I want you to know that the court is not likely to take that position. More likely than not, the court is going to say, okay, we have a property, we want to divide it. I'm going to order appraisals, and we're going to figure out what it's worth. And you know what the appraiser is going to do? He's going to look at how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how recently renovated it was, and where it is in relation to the beach. That's what he's going to look at. He's going to look at the value of the dirt. He's not going to care that you raised your kids there and that you got all sorts of pictures of them on the walls, or whether or not near the door you've got little pencil and writing, 5'2", 5'8", 6'9", as your kids got taller and taller. He's just not going to care. He's going to paint right over it, and he said, we got to sell it. So before you spend the money to get a judge to tell you, we're going to appraise it and sell it for whatever it's worth, just divide it in half, or we'll put it on the market, and whatever somebody writes a check for, that's what you're going to get. Before you do that, it might behoove you to say, look, this is sentimental to me, but I understand it's not sentimental to anybody else, so why don't we pick a number and let's agree on it? And I think ultimately that's probably the best way to do it. What I'm really telling you is, with respect to your property, you really need to approach it in a business-like manner. You don't approach it as functioning like it's a personal thing. You want to approach your marriage like that. And I get that, and the relationship should be approached like that, and so they should be very special to you and how you handle with your kids and all that. And I get that. When we're talking about houses or we're talking about stuff, you might as well approach it the way the court's going to approach it. Because if you can't agree, the judge is going to take his approach, and his approach is going to be just what your lawyers are going to tell you. They're going to split that baby, and they're going to figure out a value for it, and that's going to be it. So I think if you have that knowledge in mind, it might assist you in trying to figure out how this is going to occur. If you have any questions about that, reach out, and we'll be glad to help you out.